Good evening, welcome. We are on the eve of, which is supposed to be a massive, massive day for Indian cricket because it is the selection of a World Cup team. And every time a World Cup team is picked, it becomes a topic for massive debate, a lot of interest because somebody says this is the team, that is the team. And on most times I can remember there has been difference of opinion, debates over players. But I think in living memory, this has to be the most straightforward team that will be picked. That is to say, not that the three of us that join you in this discussion are 100% in agreement of the team. But this is not about picking our teams. This is picking up what we think is the likely team of what the selectors will be doing when they meet in Mumbai. So as is the drill, as you know, we try and put together 15. By the way, it will be 15 member or more or what?
Normally in an ICC event, it is a 15-member team with, you can include 4 travelling reserves who won't be part of the squad. But traditionally it's a 15-man squad that is selected.
So they'll have, because see, the deadline is there. You don't have to now.
January 7th, right? That is the deadline.
Usually a month before. Yeah.
So now India is selecting. What does that tell you? They are like confident, they are sure, they want to give assurances. They could have waited till, but then India doesn't have any cricket. So
Yeah, you don't play from now until January 10th, until 11th.
Yes.
And that is the ODI series. After that, you will play the T20Is.
This is the last that you see right now.
so makes sense.
Makes sense, yeah.
By the way, just to let you know, it will be a 15-member squad, which is what ICC asks for. And as Siddharth points out, you can have travelling reserves and so on and so forth. That's another thing. But, and that's a but, that India has enough time till 7 Jan to make as many changes also as they want. So there is no compulsion.
Is
There
this the
enough
earliest that they've ever announced an ICC squad?
time. India is usually the last.
Yeah, this
last
time-
day you announce.
No, but that's because you are, see, in those times, you're continuously playing a series. Now that you're finished, you're not going to be playing any more cricket after that. Might as well announce so that players can, prepare themselves. They'll all go on a New Year holiday. That's also a rarity for Indian players.
Yeah, agreed.
They've always been playing.
the BGT last year.
Every time they're playing something
I
or the
know.
other.
From now till it's going to be a long 21-day break. Imagine.
Yeah.
That's the amount of time. After that, it's all packed. The calendar is packed until November of 2026.
Yeah.
So-
yeah. So with that, let's get down to business. 15 members is what you have to pick. Before we go to 15 members squad, let's quickly take a look at the last 2 major tournaments that you have played and what your squad was like. So we've got the India T20 squad versus South Africa. The squad that you see is also a bit incomplete because you've got a Shahbaz Ahmed there, but only because Akshar Patel, who was your first choice because of injury, goes out. The rest of them are pretty much the usual suspects, the teams that you have.
Yeah.
And then you see the Asia Cup squad also that India had, where it is again pretty much the same number of players that you've been seeing in the recent past. The big difference is Rinku Singh, who is part of the Asia Cup squad, did not make it to the T20I squad versus South Africa. I think if you have to take a look at the reference point, you will have to take a look at the South Africa squad. Why? Because Asia Cup you picked extra spinners simply because you were playing in those conditions. In India, you will have flat batting conditions. So India might keep extra fast bowlers, less of spinners. So I think India versus South Africa squad is pretty much the benchmark. Instead of Shahbaz there, which we have on our screen, it should be Akshar Patel because he was your first choice. I think the rest of the team is pretty much sorted. That takes me to the other point, and now we'll try and make the 15. Are there any debates, or as I said, will this be the shortest meeting in history of the Indian selection committee because everything is decided, done?
I mean, the level of dominance that the Indian cricket team has had with this personnel, even forget 2024 in the last 6 months, I think it's a no-brainer. I think you may be right. Could be the shortest meeting ever. But there are
1:30 it starts, 1:45 they'll be done.
150. Because Ajit and Surya do like to field a lot of questions in the press conferences.
No,
That's
press
later.
conference will start after that. I'm talking about the meeting. 1:30 meeting starts. When does it get over?
I think it should end by 2:15.
40 minutes for a meeting.
There will be some.
We
There will be
will-
3 spots.
We will pick the team in 5 minutes. They will take 45 minutes.
Chai pakodas.
Yes. Yeah. That
Hope
can
it's not
happen.
raining.
Last time there was a huge delay because there was rain. But
Rain.
this is not the season that you expect there to be
Yeah.
copious
Thank
amount of
God.
rain or anything like that. Last time was that day, I remember, was some record-breaking rain.
Yes. And
that-
Surya was delayed apparently because of it.
No, this time no rain delay. You can have chai pakoda,
Yeah.
15-20 minutes. 10 minutes is all it's going to take for them to pick the team.
May
wha-
just take a bit longer.
What
May
is it?
just. I'll tell you
Let's-
why.
let's make our
I'll tell you
15
why. I'll
and-
tell you why. We've seen the scouts, we've seen the selectors as well be doing the rounds in the final leg of the Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy. You've seen some notable performances. What if, let's say Pragyan Oja, who's seen on camera just the other day, what if he has some inputs, last minute inputs maybe? Maybe he wants to make a case about whatever observations that he may have
About
had.
who name? This is the likely 15. We have not even started picking. Our producers in Shivam and Pavan have already listed 14 out of the 15 members. And I don't blame them.
Yeah.
Honestly, tell me now, whatever you're saying about Syed Mushtaq, whatever, please tell me, out of this 15, who do you think will be left out? Name one player of the 14 that they've listed here. Can you tell me one player who can be left out? Let's start with Abhishek Sharma, no brainer.
No.
Shubman Gill,
No brainer.
no brainer, right? You may agree, disagree with his form is another thing. But squad he's making.
Squad you definitely are not
Eyes
doing.
closed, he's going. Surya Kumar Yadav, again another failure in the final T20 also. But now too late for you to change the captain. Are you going to be thinking? Anyone?
No way.
Anyone
No
thinking?
way. No way.
Tilak Verma, anybody who thinks will be out?
No.
Hardik Pandya, anyone who
Absolutely
thinks
no.
You're thankful he's there.
Shivam Dubey, anybody thinks he'll be
No.
out? Arshdeep Singh, anybody thinks?
No.
Harshit Rana,
Uh-huh.
Kuldeep Yadav,
No.
Varun Chakravarti,
No.
Jasprit Bumrah,
No.
Washi Sundar,
No.
Sanju Samson,
No.
Akshar Patel.
No.
So now tell me, na, the one name that is missing, by the way, I think even that will not miss. By the way, you can write all 15. That will be Jitesh.
Jitesh.
And he will be in the 15. Done. Your meeting is done in exactly
Although-
30 seconds.
Although for me, if you have to look at it,
But when you come to critical analysis, yes, this, I think
You
and
tell
I,
me, you're the selector.
Yeah.
What changes are you making in the current scenario?
I will, if I were there, again, it clash of opinions, ideologies, I would like a finisher to be there in this side.
So
And
you're
I may
making-
not always be tempted
You
by
are
the
making
way.
a case for Rinku Singh.
Rinku
Rinku
Singh.
Singh.
So where does Rinku Singh? Please tell me. Come, cut through the chase. Don't keep. This is what they say. Lot of times selectors have told me, all of you keep coming up names. None of you say in place of whom. We can only select 15.
Yeah.
I would not have a Shivam Dubey in. As a finisher, when you look at it, I'll get a Rinku Singh in.
But Shivam Dubey will drop at this stage. How will you drop?
You have a
Basis
Hardik.
what?
You have a Hardik.
I
you
have
a
another
Jasprit,
name. I
you
have
have an
another
Arshdeep.
name.
You don't need another pace bowling option.
I would perhaps be tempted to look beyond Washington Sundar. He doesn't make my 11 on most days. On most days.
No, but as you are saying in the South Africa series, he doesn't make your 11 because Akshar is that spin bowling all-rounder. If Akshar is injured, like he's gotten in South Africa series, so he is that backup. He will come in. You will not play Kuldeep and Varun together. You can, if one between Arshdeep and Bumrah is out, then Harshit will play, who becomes your all-rounder. Why? Because India will bat till 8. They've made it very clear that is not going to change. If that is indeed what they're going to do, you will have to have a backup for Akshar, because again, if Akshar gets injured, there is nobody you can fit. Then for Akshar injury, if you don't have a Washington, the only way you can cover up is drop one between Arshdeep, Bumrah and Harshit comes in, then Kuldeep comes in as a spinner, or Varun, whoever, one of them. How will you do that? No. That's why you will have a Washi.
You know what?
I agree with you, he is not the most important member, but because you don't have another spin bowling all-rounder right now.
Can I look at having him in my travel reserves?
Travelling reserves, but you see, travelling reserves allows you to travel, but they're not part of the squad.
Yeah.
When Akshar is injured,
I'm taking a risk there.
See, I understand where
his
BCCI.
idea is not bad. Like, I would want a Rinku in this team, because if
I'm just
finishing
saying,
doesn't
if
happen
I'm-
and keep Washi as a travelling reserve, it's a good idea. But
If he
will the
goes
team do
out,
it?
I can then bring him in. If he gets ruled out, Akshar Patel, then I can always look at my travelling reserves, right?
See, you are. When I look at it, see, you're
See, because
already.
these are just my thoughts. Also, because if I were there, I still firmly believe finishing is a specialized role to do. They may not believe so.
No, but they've got Jitesh, and if Jitesh plays, and if your first choice 11 is the way they are going with, where Shubman plays, then Jitesh is your finisher. And now Hardik's also doing that job. So then they'll say, we have two. How many more do we need?
Which is why, see, that's why a Dubey in the squad, I know he's a backup for Hardik. But if I have Hardik firing on also, I don't need a Dubey because Hardik's going to give me overs. Jasprit, Arshdeep will give me
I'm
overs.
certain that
So
I
you're
don't
saying-
need Washi for his overs.
So if let's say his idea is fine, he's saying he does not need Washi. Instead of Washi, he'll have Rinku. Then his 15 is done, right? You don't want Dubey. Who are you bringing in for Dubey?
Okay, so what I would do is, I would get in a Rinku Singh instead of a Shivam Dubey. Okay, as Harshit pointed out, specialized finishers, specialized role. I know this management, this thinking, this in this era, they look down upon specialists. But then you have been justice for Samson, justice for Sanju and all that. You're not giving justice for Rinku.
You think Dubey is batting way low in the batting order?
Yeah. See, look at the batting order. You're going to have Abhishek, Sanju or Shubman, okay, as the openers. You're getting Tilak, you're getting Surya, you've got a Hardik. Dubey anyway for his position is batting well out of his position. He can't bat at 4, he can't bat at 3. So how am I fitting him in? He's there as only a backup if Hardik Pandya gets injured. Then that technical committee note, Shivam Dubey added to squad because Hardik's been injured.
But you are saying as if he's only playing when Hardik is not there. They're playing him in the 11.
11.
They are.
So how he's not a replacement? Their balance, the team's balance is with both in the team.
But Dubey is batting out of position.
That may
And
be
I'm
the
not,
case.
I'm not getting the full utility.
That may be the case, but at least in his argument, it is Washi is not your show shot starter. Once Akshar is there, it makes more sense. Then I can still agree with that argument. But in this case, they're playing both Hardik and Dubey. They're not saying they're replacement for either or. They're playing them both.
I think
and
they
that's
coexist, yeah.
Yeah. So this is the team. You said very easy to say Syed Mushtaq Ali. Who can you bring in?
I would remove a Jitesh.
And bring who?
Ishan Kishan.
No, but
But what do
Jitesh
you
has
tell
to
a
bat
Jitesh?
at number 6 and 7. Ishan Kishan will bat out of position there also. So how does that then change?
He's your
At one
see,
place you're saying,
as a backup, I'm looking at it. Only as a backup.
"Why will backup also, he'll have to bat out of position. Nah. You need a finishing type of a wicket keeper. You can't play Sanju primarily for that reason. He's a top order batter. How can you get there is zero chance of Ishan Kishan coming. Yes,
Is his
he's done
name getting
well.
mentioned? I'm just hypothetically
No,
saying.
but you can mention his name, but how do you bring him now? My point is that you
Because
have too
at
many
the moment
top
you're
order
not
batters.
looking at players and batting positions.
You already have a Sanju Samsung who is struggling to make the 11 for the right or the wrong reason.
So
That's a
Jitesh
different
just
debate.
stays.
Yeah, but you got Jitesh only because you
Yeah,
said
I agree with you.
if my top order is full, then my wicket keeper I need as a finisher.
Yeah.
I can't fit a top order. If you had space as a top order, then Jitesh wouldn't have played anyway. Sanju would have started to begin with. That
Then
you
the
can't
best
do.
case scenario, then is Ishan comes as a travelling reserve.
That you can carry, but won't get a chance to play. That's what I'm saying. I am telling you, this is your 11. Your slashes also not making it. Your 15
Yeah.
is the easiest pick. Nothing will come. It will be the shortest ever selection meeting that it is. All I will say is that I think they've taken a bold step to rest Shubman Gill and give Sanju a chance, though he is also not.
Should I
made.
assume that the word rest is in single quotes?
Whichever way you look at it. They have clearly, I think this was pre-planned that they will give Sanju 2 matches also to do. Unfortunately, with Sanju, he's had an average 37.
37 of
Yeah.
22.
Yeah, which is the Gill range anyway.
Gill did have one good knock against Pakistan in that Asia Cup. So,
37.
yeah, I think he scored 47 if I'm not mistaken in that. And plus, even at the Gaba against Australia for that brief bit, he did have that flashes of a 150, 180 plus strike rate.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, 37 of 22 is 168 strike rate. Yeah, this is
yeah.
much better than what Gill's been offering you.
but then 1 or 2 knocks, not consistent.
I'm just saying,
No, he sure
I
has.
don't know
agree.
how big a
But see,
thing
that's
this
what I'm saying. There's
becomes.
a great chance for Sanju also to notch up a 50. Makes a huge difference.
I agree.
Just a 50.
Again, it's a very Sanju Samson discussion to have. very Sanju Samson discussion that the opportunity comes begging. It goes begging. It comes and it goes begging. It's not throwing away the opportunity. The opportunity was there in the Asia Cup final as well, when India were really under the pump.
Yeah, Sanju struggled.
Then came somebody else in Tilak Verma to rescue the team.
Opportunities. Lakshmi wants to put tilak on your forehead and you want to wipe your face. That's how Sanju Samson's case is at this point in time. But that's the problem. I mean, see, this squad is so settled at this point in time that you are even debating about a backup to a backup to a backup.
While it may be settled.
You're debating for the
But
head.
is this, while yes, I agree with you guys, it's going to be a not so long a meeting, etc. Settled, I don't agree with that word though.
No, that is sure. There are
Yeah,
issues
because
there.
number 2 and number 3 right now are big question marks. Big question marks right now.
I am completely in agreement. I'm not saying you are the best team at the World Cup. That's not even the debate. I think, when you get closer to the World Cup, that's all we'll be discussing as to where this Indian team is. But truth be told, they've had a great record with this particular squad.
They've not
Despite
lost
their
a series,
problems,
yeah.
they've just not lost a series in a year and a half, and they've been the best T20I team in the world
Yeah.
in terms of their win percentage as well. So there's no denying that. They will go to the World Cup as the favourites for the title. Whether they can defend it or not is $1 million question. They'll go in as the favourite. And this is the squad which has been doing it for them. This is the formula they've been following. This is the team that will be announced. You can write it now. And we'll see you.
Is this for the first time? Because we so often say that this is what we feel and this is our best team, but selectors are going to be doing something else because they believe in something else. I think for the first time we can dare to put some money on this team that we've put.
No, I'll keep my money in my pocket. Though this is what the team is going to be. You guys let us know in the comment section if you think there'll be a bolt from the blue, which we highly doubt. But a reminder, once the team is announced, as soon as the team is announced, we're going to be live here on Sports Today. And that's when we'll try and take all your questions as well and then discuss each thing threadbare. So for the moment, bye-bye from all
See
three of
you.
us.